Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
What is up, beautiful people? This is episode 161 of the Next to Madison podcast. Thank you all for coming back, tuning in, whether it's your first time, 161st time. Love you all. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Today's episode, we're actually sitting down with, this is a very different episode. We're sitting down with world-renowned, famous photographers. These are photographers, you've seen their work in galleries and magazines, countless other places. And I'm excited to have them on because we're going to talk about, the creativity side and finding the perfect shot and kind of how they became who they are. They're inspiring. They're amazing. Everybody obviously loves photography. I mean, you can tell it by the popularity of our social media apps, especially Instagram. Everybody's looking for that perfect shot, that shot to get noticed, to really pop. And we're going to hear from like the experts, the people in this field. So very excited for this episode. It should be a lot of fun. Can't believe it's June. Happy summer. I hope everybody has amazing fun plans. It's summer 2022. Just remember, make every moment count because each day is a unique day and you'll never see this particular day again. So if you're feeling a little blah, change your attitude, change your mindset, get into a more positive, view, so to say. Because remember, this day will never be here again. So each day, live it, enjoy it, embrace it. Every day could be a miracle. So it's all in your head. That's my wisdom for the day. Anyways, remember, please rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it with your friends. Share it with anyone who will listen. We love you and appreciate all of you for tuning into each and every episode. And again, leave us feedback. We'd love to hear what you guys think and also certain segments that you'd like us to cover. We are here to make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. So we will be right back after this brief message from our sponsor on Next to Madison.
This episode is brought to you by Balance 7. Balance 7 is a concentrated alkaline with a pH of 11+. I didn't realize that acidosis is responsible for almost every infectious disease in our world today. With COVID-19 and the world opening back up, I started taking Balance 7, and after 3 days of taking it, I feel better, I have more energy, my focus is better, I think clearer. This supplement is amazing. Thanks, Dr. Noristani, for the recommendation. And all Next to Madison listeners are able to try it today by visiting balance7.com and enter code word Madison for a complimentary gift and free shipping.
Okay, we are back with our amazing guest on this episode of Next to Madison. We've got Luciana Pampalone and David Warren. They are a couple, but they are also both world-renowned photographers. And we're going to kind of get a deep dive into what it means to take the perfect shot and all good things photography. And David has worked the red carpet and shot many celebrities. Hopefully we'll get some drama on that. But with that being said, welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you guys. So first of all, tell me a little bit about yourselves. I want to start with you, Luciana.
Okay. In terms of
how you got into
I got into photography, right?
How you became like such a famous photographer. You're very well known. So talk about that.
Okay. So I decided at 16 years old, I was really like laser focused. I had taken every art class in high school and I knew I wanted to be a photographer. That was it. So with that focus, if you have that kind of vision, and you can project yourself that way and visualize yourself doing something and manifesting that, seeing yourself doing photographing for magazines, for advertising, for anything. I went to college then for photography. I studied that. I have a BFA from the School of Visual Arts in New York. And from there, it was really hard because no one would hire me as a photo assistant even. So I started shooting for myself, because it was a really male-dominated, actually very chauvinistic industry back, 35 years ago. So it was a hard push, and I was young, but I didn't know how hard it was going to be. So that actually helped me because I was so naive. I just took pictures of women and made them look amazing. And I just kept being persistent. I was persistent. Those were the days where you had, there was no cell phones back in the day.
Yeah.
And there were no, you had to walk your portfolio around to the magazines. You had to messenger your portfolios to the advertising agencies. That is how long ago, how much of a dinosaur I am. So,
but you look great.
Thank you. That's another story. It was interesting because I think the naivete and the market wasn't so saturated as it is now because of the digital iPhone. So I had to learn the technical really, really well, like the chemistry of how to process film. I had to go to the labs and say, I needed a quarter stop. I needed, an eighth of a stop, push, pull, so I really had to fine tune my lighting as well. But then from there, I had one Hearst magazine give me a break when I was in my early 20s, which is amazing because I was only one woman shooting for them at the time. I ended up going to Europe, shooting there for them. And that kind of got my career rolling. But it was interesting too, because it was a female editor-in-chief of that magazine that she gave me a break.
Awesome.
I'm going to say, yeah. So I was really blessed that way to have mentors, and I studied with and I studied and studied, but college didn't prepare you for the real world.
It doesn't, no matter what you do. It never does. What a waste of money, but great networking.
It was not even. I mean, I was getting more jobs than by the time I finished college, I was getting more jobs than my professors.
That's amazing. Well, obviously you a lot of it is kind of a God-given talent. Like I think it's totally a gift that I can visualize and see in a certain way. But it was a journey, and I got to travel all over the world until COVID. But I've traveled in like 2 years. We haven't been on a plane in 2 years. That's kind of weird. Got to get back out there. It's time.
I know. And I was so lucky to be able, and have been lucky to travel and have everything paid and go to these beautiful locations and photograph beautiful people and beautiful locations all over the world. I mean, my last big trip was in Thailand for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't pinch me. You get paid to do this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But it also is about production as well, and crew management, and the buck really stops here at the director, who's the photographer, is the director, and you have an entire crew that you're responsible for. And it's at a different level. It's not just me going out taking pictures at a certain level too. I still do that by myself, but it's traveling with crews of people and navigating that, through the airports, through all over the world. So so that's been my career, and now it's branched into using my photographs into product and into design and into interior design, because I've always done that as well, because I love that. I've loved it for myself. So now I'm offering that to my clients, and the products are really cool because it's they're taking my photographs, and it's called Art to Tote. And this is one of the designs, the photographs that was put on a product. And Yvonne Camacho helped me greatly in terms of facilitating that product development.
Yeah.
So that's my PR and branding person. So I'm shout out to her. It's amazing.
Well, I think
that's it.
I love it. All right, let's get to you. I've got more questions for you, but let's get to you, David, because you actually have like a real high-powered executive job, but you also do photography as a hobby. But most people think of photography as a hobby as like going to the mountains or going to the beach and taking a photo for Instagram.
Right.
Like your hobby became the red carpet.
Well, yeah, it was interesting because I had been into photography years ago. I'm saying back in the '70s, and then I took a break from it. Then I started to get back into it, and then when Luciana and I met, she was really instrumental in pushing me to move into that direction. And what I was doing was I was taking some photographs at parties I was going to, for instance, right?
Yeah.
And then I connected with an agency, and they had me sign a contract.
Well, I had you build a website first.
Yeah, I did a website.
I was like, yeah, let's back it up. You have to have a website, be legit, and then he got the
right
recognition.
They started sending me to some red carpet, things. In fact, the first one they sent me on was Bette Midler. She does a lot of charity work in New York City. She does a thing called it's a picnic, an annual picnic, and it's for the parks in New York City, right? All the parks in New York City. She has a fundraiser, and it was Bette Midler, Michael Kors, Debbie Harry. I mean, and this was like my first shoot, basically through an agency. So that was my first red carpet.
That's awesome.
And then I just started getting more and more, and then they started sending them out to AP. So now everything that I shoot, even if I shoot like a small party around, in the Hamptons or in New York City, if I push it out to or upload the pictures, they go right to Associated Press, which is great because everybody gets some free press out of the deal. And the cool thing is, I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with all these photographers that are doing it they're trying to make money at it. I'm just doing it for fun. So they're complaining because they're not making as much money as they used to, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just having fun. But so it's interesting.
You hit something on the head where you're saying like I'm just having fun. I feel like when we take a step back in whatever we're doing and we're having fun, things flow more easily.
Right. True. True. Yeah, definitely. And it was interesting because I was thrown onto the carpet, and now I do like all these red carpets, and with celebrities, I'm not starstruck. Like they're just people that are in the spotlight, but
that's their job.
They're regular people.
Exactly.
Excuse me. And it's interesting because I can direct them. Meaning, they're Michael Douglas was on the red carpet, and I was like, you got a piece of lint here, fix your hair here, that sort of thing. So you can give them some direction, but it's more in a one-on-one, just trying to make sure the picture is going to look good for them, right?
I'll tell them the John McEnroe story on the red carpet.
Yeah,
this is funny.
This is a great story. So okay. I was on the photographer line. It was for a fundraiser for a historic charity in New York City, and I was right at the end where all the celebrities were lining up to get on the red carpet. So Bette Midler was there. John McEnroe was behind her with his wife, and then so they were standing there, and Bette Midler like turns to John McEnroe. She's got earrings in her hand. She's like, "What do you think? With earrings or without earrings?" And he's like going like this, So she goes up and gets on to get her picture taken, and John McEnroe. I said to John McEnroe, I said, who'd have thought that Bette Midler was going to ask John McEnroe for fashion advice? He said, yeah, somebody should get that on page 6.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So how do you set these people up for the perfect shot?
On the carpet? Well, it's difficult because depending on the situation, a lot of times if the PR folks that are running it are doing the right job, they're sort of managing the flow of the people, right? The celebrities. There are some times when it's craziness, chaos, where all the photographers are yelling, and they're above you too. They're in multiple levels above you, around you, yelling to get the celebrity to look at them so they can get their shot.
Yeah.
On a good line, it's basically they're just walking down. You say, stand here. And you tell them to turn or whatever, and then you take their shots. You take multiple shots, obviously, and then you're also taking shots as they're moving down, so you get different angles on the celebrities as they're moving down.
But your advantage too is you're big,
right? So I'm a
taller
taller than a lot of the I'm
Yeah.
6'2",
And
which is
that
not
helps.
huge, but yeah.
But that helps because a lot of photographers are a lot shorter.
Right,
I don't
right,
know why,
true.
but they are.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I
So,
mean,
yeah.
so what a cool experience. Do you then get to go into the parties as well afterwards?
Sometimes I'm,
Yeah, we
I'm allowed to
go
get
a
in there,
lot.
and sometimes it's interesting because sometimes the PR companies are really on top of it. They have face sheets they give you with all the pictures of the people, their names, and sometimes they actually have they'll give out lunch boxes of food for the photographers depending on the situation, or they'll tell you, one event was in New York City. It was a fundraiser. I want to say I think it was the Clio Awards, and they had us all the time. They said, "You guys can stay, go upstairs in the balcony. You can hang out on the balcony, and we'll give you lunch up there." I'm like, or dinner. I'm like, okay, cool. So sometimes they take care of you, and sometimes it's basically craziness.
But you're kind of like living the dream.
We are actually now. This
Yeah.
is the best time in my life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
it's fun because
you guys are both based in the Hamptons, which is
Right now, yes.
the
I've been based in New York City most of my life and lived there. And now in the last 2 years, we're based pretty much here, but we always are back and forth. Like tomorrow, I'm going to New York City. So there's, I mean, it's only an hour and a half from our house, so it's not far.
It's perfect. But the Hamptons are known in the summertime, which is basically now, to have some of the most fabulous parties.
I'm geared up for it,
and we give them.
Yeah,
I love.
right. We have
when
our own
I'm out there.
You should.
Come,
Get yourself down.
I know. I gotta get out there. I gotta figure it out.
Big one in July.
You what?
We're planning a big
We
one
have a
in
big
July.
one in July 2nd.
Oh, nice. What kind of party? Like a photography party or like a white party?
We're calling it the July 2nd Patriotic Sunset Soiree.
That's amazing. I like that.
Because you can see from our house the sunset go down over the water. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's magical.
Yeah, we got sunsets over the water,
Purple,
so it's
hot
beautiful.
Pink, orange.
Oh my gosh.
Stunning. That's what I'm saying. It's like almost surreal at this point.
So when you're photographing people at parties who are not celebrities, who have just done their own makeup, who just dress themselves and go out, how do you capture them in a light that gives them the confidence that they need?
Well, it's called post-production.
Oh.
and basically I do a lot of skin smoothing. So everybody, I get a lot of compliments. They're like, "Oh, your photographs are great." Well, that's because I zoom in on people and I smooth the skin a little bit. There's like a slider I can put on there, and it just makes their face look just have that nice glow to it.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you're telling me what I see online isn't real? I'm kidding.
Oh, it's real.
Wow.
It's real. It's just been adjusted a little bit.
Right.
They don't look that good. Damn it. No.
Well, especially those people who are doing their makeup or no makeup, right? So
that's what it's so funny because now I go on the. It's interesting because I'm in front of the camera now, which is really bizarre. But it's been like that for the last 5 years. I rebranded myself.
Right.
So I'm on front of the camera where I always used to be behind the camera directing my clients to get on the red carpet and
I'm
shooting a brand.
I'm shooting the red carpet and Luciana's on the red carpet
now. So
that's exciting.
So as a creative influencer, I'm a creative influencer, and for my brand, that's why I'm wearing the crown, because it's about women's empowerment, and I wear it for all women to never forget that they are queens.
Oh, I like that.
I wear it for all of us. So once you realize you are a queen, you will attract an amazing, perfect partner. You'll attract your entire life, that you want. Okay,
let's go into that, because I wanted to ask about that, and I was going to wait till the end, but now you just brought it up, so let's just go into that, because you had talked before we, came online that you were all about manifestation, which we've covered heavily on this podcast, and people love it, and they know. I feel like everybody knows what manifestation is, but only a very, very small percentage of people know how to actually do it.
Right. True.
Right.
And I might be one of them. I mean, I feel like I'm very lucky in certain things that come easy to me, and I feel my mindset's a little different. but when it comes to other things, I struggle more. So let's talk about the manifestation of creating that world and getting everything you want.
I think we have created that world. And I think you have to, this is the key, to align your energy, to be excited and really believe and visualize you can really get there.
And positive.
You got to be positive.
Positive energy.
If I can feel people's frequencies really easily.
Okay.
So if I feel somebody's got a lower, heavier, negative, I will pull away from them. You can read a room pretty well. Like if somebody comes up to you and they're like, their energy sucks, vampires, I call them vampires, then you want to move away from there. So with Dave, how I manifested our relationship was that, and I tell all my girlfriends to do this. It's great.
Okay, I'm listening because I am single, so I'm paying attention.
Okay.
I was listening all the time, and now I'm really paying attention.
So you really have to believe you are a queen. Believe it to receive that. So even though you're like, nah, I can't really go out there like all cocky and believe that. Who gives a shit? All bets are off. You know, just try this way. Try it this way. See what happens. You know, and also don't sleep with a guy right away, because that's not girlfriend or wife material that does that. That's what mom material. So forget that. Forget that. But that, try it. Just try it for 2 weeks. Try for 3 weeks and see what happens. Also, I have Post-its I put up everywhere in my apartment and my laptop saying, I'm now attracting the perfect partner. So your perfect partner, Madison, is not going to be my perfect partner. But for you, I'm now attracting my perfect partner.
And that's your mantra.
And that's your mantra.
Oh.
And I did it for like 6, and there you go.
So I want to go back to the queen part. When you're saying, imagine you're a queen, believe you're a queen, know you're a queen.
Yes.
What are the things in your head that should be going on to
you got to fool
like,
yourself. You don't believe it. Yeah. You've got to believe that you're going to find or attract someone who's going to treat you really well, not just monetarily, emotionally. So you know, there's a kind of a respect that you have to have for yourself in order to receive that respect as a woman.
Yeah.
And I've been in a male-dominated industry, so I can be kind of pushy too. But you want to also believe, you also want to be yourself, but you got to change up your strategy in terms of if you want a relationship. If you don't want a relationship, don't even listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do your thing and enjoy, because it's your journey. I always say it's everybody's journey. And being on this earth school, it's your journey. Think about it.
Well, it is. And everybody comes down here. And I always say this, it's like, you know, it's your life. Like you don't have to, you know, stare at the big house when you're on, you know, your walk, if you're walking your dog or whatever, and there's a big house, and be like, oh, how lucky. Like you deserve that too. You just
I want to be in that.
To go and get it.
I want that house. Right.
And that's where having a vision board comes to play, right? So you put together a vision board, and we did that with this house.
With this house, actually, we did. We had it in the apartment. I get him to go along with so many crazy shit I want to do. Oh my gosh. So I was like, okay.
This is your perfect partner. You manifest your perfect partner.
Yes. So I'm like, listen, if I'm going to live here, I want to be on the water. Now, in the reality of the earth reality, are you kidding me? That's like would be so expensive, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, right.
It was never on my radar to live in the Hamptons at all. I was living down the Jersey Shore.
He's a Jersey Shore.
I was down in Long Branch, New Jersey. Living down there.
I couldn't do that.
4 blocks from the beach.
I do like Long Branch as well, though. I like the Hamptons better, but Long Branch is nice as well.
Great.
Yeah.
But I have all my friends out here, and I've been coming out here for years and years. And I've lived in New York City most of my life. So this is my world more. So I was like, no, I want to live on the water here. Boom. So we found this property. And
We actually looked at the house across the street from the road. There was a house across the street for sale. And we drove down the street, and from the outside, we didn't look inside the house, just looked from the outside and we looked across the street and there was a for sale sign across the street, and like, how about that house? So then we started, investigating that and fell in love with it.
Yeah, and again, this is on waterfront. I looked up at that house, the house we're in now, and I was like, wow, really cool people live there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool. So was it on your vision board before you saw it, the house in the Hamptons?
Some waterfront property was, definitely. But not this listing, but then we put this listing on. But this is the wild manifestation part as well. This ties it all in. Somebody outbid us in cash, and they gave us the house because they said it's Luciana's house. Queen, right?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Talk about, wow. That's I'm like speechless. I'm like, huh?
I had to come up $5,000 more. I said, what are we talking about in first price? Come up $5,000. I was like, sure, done. And we didn't have cash. We had to finance this.
And the best part was,
wow.
I was actually shooting an event out in the Hamptons, and Luciana called me. She's like, I just put an offer in on the house. I'm like, what?
Because
you didn't talk to me about it?
Because I've bought and sold real estate since 1990 in New York, and you have to act fast, and you can't be wishy-washy. I'm an Aries. It's like, let's do it and let's get it done. That's why.
I mean, that's awesome. I actually am working on like creating my new updated vision board. And sometimes when you will put a picture, because I've had this happen, right? Where you'll choose a house or houses and you'll go to cut the picture out in the magazine and you're going, is this too much? But you can't think that way. So I got to stop.
You got to reprogram your brain, basically. So,
yeah, I'm like, oh, I can have that. But like the house was so obnoxious. And I was like, maybe it's not what I wanted, though. Maybe I wanted something a little more toned down.
Well, you have to, that's what you really have to tune in, your clarity.
Yeah.
What you really want. And if you think it's going to be out of your realm, it's going to be out of your realm. The universe knows that. And when you put we go through so many signals a day. It's like our frequency, our radio frequency is going out there, going out there, going out there. Well, it's reading up the negative stuff too. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
So you have to override. You have to switch the channel, override from that negative talk. Oh, I can't afford it, blah, 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 to, oh my gosh, the world is open. Like, your oyster. Think of it that way. Like, wow, I want that. I want that. I want this car. I want a stick shift. I want this, whatever. We're here to have fun in this human form.
Well, exactly. And let's take it back to David real quick. To manifesting David, what exactly did you put on your vision board that attracted him? What were the things, Luciana, on your?
I just did the Post-its. Said I just wrote, I'm now attracting my perfect partner.
Oh, that was it. You weren't like height, color, hair color.
No, don't even do that, because everybody I've been with doesn't even look alike. I got dark, light, it doesn't matter for me. They all look bald. It's I don't have a type.
And so when you met him at this Hamptons party, were you like,
no,
holy shit, no,
I didn't feel anything towards him.
So I just took a picture of 4 women on a white couch at a white party.
I mean, he was nice looking, but I was like, yeah, whatever.
And she was one of them.
I was dating someone else. I was living with someone else at the time, so I wasn't paying attention, actually.
Okay, that makes sense now. Yeah.
Right. So I just friended her on Facebook so I could tag her in the photo.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't talk for 3 years or communicate or anything. There was nothing at all. And then we ran into each other at an art opening in Manhattan. And at that time, you had broken up with your boyfriend.
But I was trying to fix him up with other single women, because he was on the hunt for a girlfriend. This guy was on the prowl. Between my second marriage and Luciana,
I had a pretty heavy dating schedule. I was on every dating site. I mean, every dating site. I think I even had a J-date accountant, and I'm not even Jewish.
Yeah.
I was looking for somebody that I could, I could have a serious relationship with. And people would say, "You're a player," and I'm like, "I'm not a player."
I'd have women come up to me and say, "He's a player."
Yeah. After we were dating, they're like, "I wouldn't go out with him because I thought he was a player." Well, I had to go out on a lot of first dates to find one that worked.
So we didn't really, even after our first date, because it's, again, timing. You have to be in the right alignment with someone at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Timing is key.
Oh, man.
Right.
So even after our first date, it's interesting. I still do this with him. I know what he's thinking. I'm intuitive. So now I didn't tell him this, that I was intuitive, but I'm sitting across from him at dinner at Bobby Van's Steakhouse downtown, Lower Manhattan. And I knew what he was thinking. And I responded to his thoughts.
What was he thinking?
I think I may have even had my mouth open like I was going to ask her something.
And I was like,
you guys missed my joke.
Oh.
I said, what was he thinking? That your tits look great?
Ah, jeez.
yes, they did.
That's true. That's true.
There you go.
They did. A little bit they did. So I said to him, my head's not in the game yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wanted a relationship. I knew he was going to say something. I said, my head's not in the game yet.
Because we only saw each other. We only dated maybe
I thought of him more as like a friend.
Once a month we would see each other. We'd meet for dinner or something like that.
And I was trying to hook him up with other friends.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because I was like, I'm dating. I'm having fun. Because I'd been in a relationship for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then she was having an art opening in the Hamptons out here, a solo show. And I wanted to come out and support her, so I was driving up from the Jersey Shore, and I wasn't planning on staying over. I was just going to come up for the show, drive home. And then she said, "You should just stay here," you know what I mean? But I didn't know this at the show. She had invited all these other guys that she was dating, right?
I wasn't sleeping with any of them.
There you go.
So then,
see, that's why you have to keep that queen mentality. Okay, so everybody's
trying to close, ladies. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Close it and see who, you can date about 4 or 5 guys. I was, but I wasn't sleeping with all of them. Because once you start sleeping with people, you don't see clearly. So I wanted clarity.
I 100% agree with that. Everything gets totally effed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have the power before you sleep with them. Really, really, right, in terms of dating.
Yeah.
You have the power. So, and then you could really see people for who they are after 5, 10 dates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Really get to know them and see if they're worth your time. If they're not worth your time, next.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So you stayed in the Hamptons, and then that was.
I stayed. So then we were at her friend's house.
Oh my God.
And we were swimming, and her friend had to drive somebody to the bus station, and so I was swimming in the pool, and I popped. Luciana was laying out, and I popped my head up. I'm like, "Do you want to be exclusive?" And she looked at me. She's like, "No, I'm dating other people." I'm like, okay, whatever.
I was such an asshole.
So then I
but
invited
it
her.
served me well. I just came out.
So this was on a Sunday. So I invited her to an opening. It was a real estate event at a townhouse, very exclusive or expensive, 4 or 5 story townhouse. It was for sale. And they had a jazz combo in the back and catered and everything. And we knew a few people that were there that were running it that were in real estate. But we got there early, and she's like, I thought about what you asked me the other day. And I'm like, what did I ask you? She's like, about being exclusive. She's like, I'll give it a couple months.
I said, I'll give you 3 months.
I said, why'd you put an expiration date on it?
I don't want to waste my time.
You need to be my dating coach, Luciana.
Totally.
You should just hire you as a coach.
No, it's true. I mean, because I've been married. This is my 4th and last husband.
This is my 3rd wife.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
Experience. Yeah, there you go. Because I don't take a lot of shit from people. So if you're not behaving, well, the queen leaves. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
So the rest of the night, I introduced myself. I introduced Luciana as my girlfriend.
Isn't that funny? He was so excited. I was like, oh, wow.
Aww. And obviously you made the cut.
I guess, yeah, I made it past the 3 months.
Right, and then we'll reissue another 3 months, a contract for that the next three.
Please.
Now we have life contract.
So then I was taking her to Paris for her birthday, right? The next year, I was taking her to Paris. So I said, let's go to Paris for your birthday, which was April 6th. And a few weeks before, she said, "You want to get married?" I'm like, "Okay."
I shocked myself. But I knew instinctively he would be, and I've been with someone for 8 years and would never get married to them. I knew he would be the perfect partner, in terms of life journey and navigating. And, I could go anywhere with him. I could take him anywhere.
Yeah, we make a great team.
Yeah, it's basically a team, so think of it that way. Maybe it's a different perspective. But
I like that you guys really are like the perfect partners. I mean, you had a hobby that you loved. She did it for a career and was very, very well known and inspired you to do it. And now you're becoming very well known. So it's like this perfect like team. So I want to go back to photography again. But because I think that everybody's looking for that perfect shot. So how do you but like be the subject of the perfect picture, like for Instagram or social media?
You're talking about.
You're asking Dave or me?
Both of you. Like, how do you look good in a photo? That's how I'll frame it.
Luciana can answer that because
Okay.
she takes a lot of Instagram shots.
I got to do a lot of social media work.
Yeah.
How do you? Okay. This is what I'm going to tell people. Cut down on those filters. Cut those down.
Don't use them. I hate them because I'm like, I don't want to show up to a party and people say you don't look like
that. Right. Bingo. Okay. Cut down on those filters. I think that makes you look, unrealistic when people really meet you. I like when people meet me, they say, "Oh my gosh, you look so much better in real life." I'm like, yeah, because I'm like animated in real life.
Right, natural's better.
Yeah. So
what's
smile.
Okay.
When I'm shooting, say not shooting myself. Let's take me out of it for a second. It's easier for me to talk as a director and photographing people, which I do all the time. So when people come to me to be photographed, I always say smile. And the reason why is because it lifts everything up. So if I'm shooting someone, say is older woman, I'll shoot from a high angle down and have their neck lift up.
So you're like up, you're up above, and then they lift up.
Yeah, because it pulls everything, all the neck, all the under chin up.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of tricks, and I like them really beautifully too.
Yeah.
And eye contact is huge, but also the chemistry between the photographer and the model or the subject is key. And let's see what I'm trying to tell your audience in terms of taking selfies. Everybody goes high up. They think they look fabulous because it's the angle of the camera. Think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I just learned from a coach like how to take the perfect selfie. And what I was doing was when I hated selfies, I was looking at myself in the phone versus looking at the actual lens, which is like over here, and you're
it's really a mind.
Exactly.
What a shift, though.
Yeah. No, it's hard. But also too, wearing certain clothes. Don't wear anything that's like crazy colored patterns. Sometimes it'll detract from your face. Flatter lighting is better than contrasty, harsh lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I used to teach photography at the School of Arts for 10 years. I taught one beauty and fashion lighting course.
Okay.
So, pick my brain on that, and it would be about even, clean lighting. So indirect light is the best light for your skin. Outside sunlight and harsh light is going to make it look a lot rougher, let's say, rough.
Yeah.
So our light right now is coming through. It's natural light, but it's coming through a couple shears, so it's diffused, diffused light.
It's diffused. I said, we're like, wow, it's really bright in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's diffused, but we made like our little diffusion panels with our shades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, let's do it's all daylight coming in.
Yeah.
That's how we're lit. We're not lit with one of those rings.
Rings or
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Knowing how to light.
Yeah, lighting is so key because I know like when people will take a cell phone picture, obviously the quality is not there. And then you're at one of those parties and there's a photographer that's taking photos and you see those and you're like, wow, it looks so much better. But they've got that light they're holding.
Right. You want a flash on camera. If you're at a party, make sure you have a flash. Somebody takes you with a flash is going to be better than non-flash.
Oh, here's a question. How do you prevent red eye?
Oh, it's okay. See,
like
your
actual photo without Photoshop.
Yeah, no, that's a great question because you use flash all the time, so you really can't. If you're the red eye becomes.
Typically, photographers like to bounce the flash. If there's a white ceiling or white walls around, you'll see the flash is actually pointed up towards, not directly at you, but pointed more up. So that it bounces off and it disperses the light around.
Because directly in your eye, you're going to get that red eye.
Right.
So it can't be.
Okay.
If I'm photographing you, the flash is here. You're going to get red eye. If it's here, you're not really going to get red eye. Or here, it's going to reflect and bounce, basically.
Exactly.
So so that's one way to.
So if you're taking a photo, if somebody's taking a cell phone photo and you're just out, at a club or at a bar.
Yeah.
And they need a flash because it's dark. Yeah. Where should you look to prevent the red eye?
I mean, you really.
If you're looking right at the flash and the camera is right next to it, or right below or right above the flash, then you're going to get red eye. So you need to be looking to the side of the camera, not directly at the camera, unless they can angle that flash, so it's not directly at your face. Which is difficult because it's not adjustable. It's
because
all
at night you're in a club or whatever. You're like, I'll take that. I mean, those random shots. I mean, who cares anyway?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So many apps you can erase it.
Right.
So have you guys been hired for like this whole social media thing is crazy. I love it, but I hate it. It's just nuts.
It's another job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Right.
So have you done like influencer shoots for some of these like big influencers that you would never have known unless there was social media?
Luciana has.
It's funny because even like famous people that I photographed that I didn't even know.
Oh, really?
No, it's better, honestly. Again, the innocence of not knowing who people are and wanting to give them the best imagery and make them as beautiful as possible is better. And also, at this point in my career, I can't be intimidated by anyone at this point. It's like,
Yeah, that's a good spot to be in.
No, the most empowering thing I think as you get older is you don't give a shit.
Isn't that great?
Oh, it's so freeing. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's awesome.
I know. I always say if I could give this less of a fuck when I was in my 20s, I'd be a billionaire by now.
That's right.
I care too much.
True. Yeah.
It's like, why did I worry about that?
Don't worry about what other people think. Just do the right thing. And
if I worried about people thinking I'm going to walk around with a crown on my head for events and things.
But you're kind of like, I feel like you're well known that people are like, that's your staple. Like that's you.
That's my brand, basically. Correct. So I've been in branding for so many years, branding celebrities, branding people for their brands. So I took what I did for them and ramped it up 150% for myself. So that's hair extensions, eyelashes. I make all my crowns. I don't have a crew of people styling me because I've been in fashion so long. I go for the cheapest stuff. I mix it all together. Boom. Paint my body. Done.
I mean, I think it's great.
It's creative, though.
But you're like one of those people, if I didn't even know you, like if I showed up to a Hamptons party and you were there, I would be like, oh, I'm at the right party. Like, she's great. She's fabulous. Got that like vibe.
And I'm approachable too. And that's the best thing. And I think that also when you wear a crown or wear something you made, it makes people happy. When they see, people are so happy to see me. I'm like, oh, great. And it's funny because they recognize me from social media. So that's the weirdest thing. So you probably know this, Madison. When you meet people in real life, they think they know you from your show or from social media. Isn't that the most bizarre thing?
It doesn't happen
It's
a
like,
lot, but yeah.
okay, because that happens to me all the
Hopefully
time.
it will.
Yeah. So just a really quick example. So I'm walking. I'm at dinner with this very famous athlete and very famous actress. This is good. I'm
Okay.
walking through again, Bobby Vance, right? No, it was some other steakhouse in the Hamptons.
Oh, this was at
It was
the
packed.
Palm.
It was packed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't go to the Palm. I don't think of myself as fancy. Fancy? No, I'm not fancy. I'm not a fancy Hamptons lady. I'm an artist. So I'm walking through the restaurant with the famous actress next to me, going to the ladies' room, walking in the ladies' room. Somebody stops me and they think they know me. Oh, hi. And I'm like, okay, hi, how are you? And Dave told me who it was. And she actually was on a TV show. I didn't know who the fuck it was.
Yeah, she was on one of those.
So I keep walking to the ladies' room with the famous actress, right? We go into the ladies' room. Another woman stops me. No one's paying attention to the famous actress. That was the most crazy thing. So this woman is literally following me into the bathroom stall, and I shut the door because she keeps talking to me.
Yeah, you're like,
the famous actress is right there. I'm like, what?
Did you say who the famous actress was?
Pardon me?
Can you say who the famous actress was?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
Perry, right? Perry.
Yeah. She, her name is Perry, and she was on, gosh, so many television shows.
She was on Shameless. She was on a few other. She has her own TV show up in. I think it's being filmed in Toronto. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
I'm terrible at names. Oh my gosh, I remember her first name, but.
And her boyfriend.
Tell the boyfriend. Who's the boyfriend?
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So these two were in the restaurant with us. So at the same table. So and I was like, oh, let's just go to the bathroom, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, what? It was funny.
I mean, it's probably your energy and the crown, and you just
definitely the crown helps.
Yeah. I feel people are picking up on my energy. The frequency is sometimes really high.
Totally.
And it's like, oh, I can't sit still. It's sometimes it's so high. So I'm constantly running around working on the house, doing a lot of projects.
Yeah. Well, I think this is great. And so before we wrap up, I want to cover a couple of things. Where can people go to see both of your works or your photos?
So they can look at on Instagram, David Warren Images. That's my handle on Instagram, or also davidwarrenimages.com.
There you go.
So I do not only red carpets, but I also do nude bodyscapes as well, black and white nude bodyscapes.
Okay, and so people can contact you if they want photos as well.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay, perfect. And how about you?
It's on Instagram. It's just my name, Luciana Pampalone.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, I have a link tree. So you can go to my website through Instagram, or you can go directly to my LucianaPampalonestudio.com.
Okay, that's okay. So you guys check their work out because their work is absolutely amazing. This has been a fun interview. Definitely took a different turn with the manifestation, but I loved it because it just brought in and kind of proved that you guys have been so successful in your field, not only because you're so talented, but also because you work on manifestation. I truly believe in that. But let's talk about where we can get your totes because they're adorable. They're launching this month. It's now June.
Right. Yeah, it's almost month. It's probably going to be through my website or Von Camacho's website. So you haven't figured it out yet. But again, on my Instagram, it'll be through a link through my Instagram. I'll announce all that on Instagram.
Okay. I mean, that's amazing, you guys, because she takes awesome photos and now they can be part of a bag. I feel like your bags, from what you've held up.
This is so much fun. This is fun for the summer. I love this one.
That's perfect. They're attention grabbers is what they are. Once you get that bag, who makes that bag? They're
and then the tees too. This is cool too. The tees on the my website too.
That's her artwork.
Artwork to the label, key collaboration.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
You guys, again, this is on our YouTube. If you're listening on audio, go check out the YouTube. You can actually see the bags being held up. Gorgeous.
Nice.
Amazing stuff.
Have fun. Enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. Just enjoy your life and don't worry about what people think.
Exactly. You know, and sometimes, as I've told people, it's easier said than done. Obviously, it takes work to really get to that point of not caring what people think, but once you do get there, it's magical. So maybe go out and have people say nasty things to you. Just be like, say bad shit, and just practice going internally. But yes, I always agree to have fun. I mean, I took the risk to chase after my dream, and it came with a lot of heartache, and it came with a lot of disappointment and a lot of struggle and a lot of long roads, but it's been worth it. And now everything's coming to fruition, and it's magical. So if you're in a job you hate, we're encouraging you to take the steps to get out of it. Don't just quit. It's stupid. Start taking the steps to move toward
visualize yourself.
Yeah.
At the next. Keep visualizing yourself doing what you love, and it will come.
Exact. I love it. You guys are amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to come on Next to Madison and talk to us. And you guys definitely go check them out. And I appreciate each and every one of you that has tuned in wherever you may be. And we'll see you next time to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.